So the fall economic statement is kind of that checkpoint, halfway through the year where we can give Ontarians an update on where the books are at, and also talk about any opportunities to bring some new things forward that are going to impact Ontarians in a positive way. So you can call it a mini budget, if you will.
Right.
And
I'm sorry to interrupt, but the budget's in the spring.
Budget's in the spring.
March, April.
We see that at the start of the fiscal year in early April. This is again an opportunity, kind of halfway through the year, to again provide that update to Ontarians. And I think the update is by and large positive. What we're seeing is more revenues for the government. And in turn, that has created an opportunity to address affordability, like I talked about a moment ago. So, for the people in all communities throughout Parry Sound Muskoka, the cost of fuel, the cost of groceries, the cost of day-to-day living, the cost of their mortgages has been a real stress, and a lot of people wondering how they're going to put it all together at the end of the day. We're collecting tax dollars from Ontarians. We think some of those dollars are best spent by Ontarians on those things that are important to them. So we've committed to giving adults and most children, I think above 12 or 13 years old, $200 a piece to make sure that these affordability challenges can be met by families. I think it's a really important thing to do right now. Again, certainly the number one thing that I'm hearing about as I go around the riding. And when you think about it, somebody gets up in the morning, they get in the truck, they take their kids to school, they go to work, they need that vehicle to do their work. If you pull up to the pumps, it's going to cost a couple of $100s to fill it up. So, getting a fill up looked after for you, and maybe, if your spouse or partner, contributes their $200 to that, that's a couple of fill ups, which makes a big difference down the line, because you can use that money for food, or for your mortgage, or for things that are important to you, or for your kids. This is a real concern for people, and I think it can get overlooked by those that maybe aren't feeling the pinch quite as much, but there are a lot of people feeling the pinch.
So you mentioned filling up at the pumps, and of course in Parry Sound Muskoka, a lot of people drive trucks for work purposes, for recreational purposes, SUVs, they have kids, etc. So there is a $200 check for each parent in the house, along with $200 per eligible child. So
that's right.
Average family, give or take, $800.
Sure, for a family of four, you'd expect about $800. And again, how that is best allocated and spent by that family for the things that are important to them. I trust families and individuals to know what works best for them. So, we want to take that opportunity. The Premier trusts families to make those decisions. So we want to take their money, get it back in their pockets at a time when they need it most. And I would contrast that, by the way, with what we see from the federal government, which is an ongoing implementation of a carbon tax, which is costing people money every time they fill up, costing people money every time they buy food or goods that have really touched a transportation network, with the promise that you'll get that money back later. People need the money today. They don't need it taken from their wallet with the promise that they will get it back later. So we continue as a province to really pressure the federal government to get rid of the carbon tax in Ontario, and really to kind of take a step further. We're putting money back in the pockets of Ontarians because we know that tax isn't working for them. We're reducing fuel, or continuing the reduction of fuel taxes in Ontario. So each time you go to the pump, you're saving money as a family to allow that money to stay in your pocket to be best used the way you see fit.